We ready.
You cannot handle this
Again, Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's. You are tuned in live to ExCons4Trump on IntellectualRadio.com. That's ExCons4Trump on IntellectualRadio.com. I'm Tyrone Muhammad. That's the Carter Trust. And we got the great Devin Jones back in the house. Give it up for Devin. Good to see you. We got to hit those little machines where they clapping down.
What's up, people?
So coming back in, y'all. That's a lot going on, and I'm gonna ask each of the Devin and Carter, what they've been doing this New Year, since that's the last time we've
been together since the New Year, but Devin hasn't. So right. Happy New Year, Devin. This is our first time seeing you in 2025.
But it's a lot going on. We was down in Springfield fighting J.B. Pritzker to not eliminate black hemp businesses, to give hemp over to his cannabis cronies. Think about that, and I want to talk to us to talk about that. Think about what he did and what he's trying to do. Take a product that's federally legal and give it to a product or a company or a business or conglomerate that's federally illegal. Once again, take a product that's federally legal and hand it over to be regulated by a company and licenses that's federally illegal. This is the coldest game ever. And for the most part, he didn't have a vote to do what he's doing. Not only was cannabis supposed to be the tool or the product that would be used to fix the damage caused by the war on drugs in our communities, this man then turned around and give all the so-called social equity licenses that we've been fighting for. I've been fighting for over 4 years, and give it all to white men and white billionaires. And now here we are finding a space, finding a workaround to learn the business, create opportunity, and to deal with the same flower that they deal with that's federally legal. That means the government of the United States has deemed this product federally legal, where the product that J.B. Pritzker gave over to his cronies and his homies is only allowed to be so in 22 states, which is federally illegal. Banks do not receive the money of cannabis dispensaries. Wow. Banks do not accept money from cannabis dispensaries. So therefore, when you look at it like that, I often ask, if banks don't accept money from illegal products that's federally legal, can't go into a federal bank, my product can, my money can, our product can, because it's federally legal. Look at the cold-blooded nature of how they orchestrated to take the products, take weed, and give it to the government to be taxed, while Lil Jojo and them is still fighting for the life that was taken from them from the very same product.
So it's like a cartel.
It is. The government is the cartel.
Well, it's the legal
we take it from them, and we are working for the government. We don't work for the cartel. We work for the United States government.
Now you do understand that it's really always been that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
The cartel.
I just want to really make people aware that we are not remiss to those facts. But Tyrone, I want you to really kind of just break down. We talk about these things on here, but I want you to really give some history behind what happened to put this legislation in place,
right,
and why the Democratic Party, because it was basically the Democratic Party. So why the Democrats felt like they had to come back, and in the guise of making this something that they were going to use to assist Black families in their plight after so many lives and families were broken and torn up because of the war on drugs.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about that. Give some history and
So just
background on
think
that.
about it. Everybody, we got all these different names now that these young folks using for weed now. Y'all remember, I think when I was growing up, they was calling it skunk, sesame,
Ganja.
gun. So we got all this. Nothing has changed. You get different strands, and they calling it exotics now. You could put a different name on something every day, and the people will believe it's something different. But you could just put the same flower out 5 months later and give it something else, and they're gonna think they're getting something different. Because most consumers don't really understand what they smoking. They just understand the high, the effect of it. So with that being said, think about the 1994 Clinton crime bill. We grew up in a time in the 80s where when you got caught with a joint, a duck in your ashtray, that was enough for the police to seize your car.
Yep.
A duck, just for your tab, damn it.
Not
A duck
impound
impound
your car. Seize.
Seize it.
Seize means you never get it back.
So and then also they impounded, but they knew when they impounded that we ain't had no money to go pay $250.
No.
Back then, $250 was hard to. I'm just saying, just think about it. Like most people never had that. Anyway, if they had it, they probably wouldn't have been getting pulled over anyway. But with that being said, the Clinton 94 crime bill ushered in mass incarceration just from marijuana possession, right? So now here we come, fast forward. Cannabis is made legal. So you want to talk about the medical plus one. They tricked the government into making cannabis legal through medical use only.
Right.
Then they went back to legislators say, wait, we want to be able to have recreational use as well. So, but now you get the medical plus the one legal dispensary that can pop up, and you can now own the medical and the legal. But somehow this lottery system, when they made it legal, they understood that they could tax it.
Yep.
So we're talking about the black market that is cannabis that black men and brown men, because they in jail, I saw them in jail too for selling it, went to jail for 60 years for selling weed. That means all those bodies that lost time, their mothers, their fathers,
Yep.
the children that was affected by the war on drugs, just say no.
Yep.
All of those things violated our community and never repaired them. And now we see these little nomads running wild because this is an effect of the war on drugs and disinvestment, a systemic poverty, which is violence. Poverty is violence.
Exactly. And we would be remiss if we didn't talk about the big plan in this all.
What the whole thing is, they was to make it legal. And only the rich can afford to buy $1 million licenses.
Well, so when I say the plan in it all, and I think that what Black people need to understand and begin to really hone in on and pay attention to is, first of all, the war on drugs was another way to get rid of Black people. It was another way to control. It was another way to marginalize. It was definitely a way to tear up the Black family, which is the epitome to what keeps us moving forward collectively. And so we got to be able to look at the plan of it all. And the reason why that is so important at a time such as this is and we'll go back to the cannabis, thing in a minute, but this is just heavy on my heart. I heard this yesterday and I thought, wow. So you all know that one of the sticking points in the negotiations with the Chicago Board of Education and the Chicago Teachers Union is the fact that they want some common sense legislation to appear in the teacher's contract that protects migrant or immigrant illegal students from being deported. Did y'all see that yesterday?
But what would that matter once Trump and them come through
Well,
federally and remove them?
So possibly.
I
but
mean,
what
that wouldn't
they're-
matter to me if
I mean,
I'm
it
the czar.
doesn't matter to
like,
any of us, but
know.
I think that
No, I'm saying
here's
if
my
they
thing.
legislation, what they putting forth, if Tom Homan and Trump them said if they wasn't born, if they didn't go through the proper system to get here, we removing them.
I understand that, but listen, but here's my question. And this is what I need someone to answer for me. So if we have any elected officials that are listening,
They always
come
listen.
on out the bushes for a minute, because we know you're listening.
Call in
You know what? You ain't even gotta call in.
708-223-8953.
Inbox me. But here's my question. Why y'all fighting so hard to keep them here? Why y'all fighting so hard to make them a part of this country? Why are you all fighting so hard to protect them when you've never protected us?
You know the other thing about that?
Wait.
Go ahead.
So I just because what I want people to begin to do is to connect the dots. Pay attention to the fact that these people always got an agenda.
Absolutely.
When are we going to get an agenda for ourselves as a people? And then I'm going to let Devin jump in.
I don't know if y'all have ever actually looked at the history of immigration in the United States, or the history of the war on drugs, or the history of the war on poverty, right? They're all interconnected. And it specifically deals with Black people. So every time that Black people start to get civil rights, right? After the Civil War, they had the first Civil Rights Act. I want to say it was 1866, something like that. There was another one in 1871. What happened right after that? We started allowing certain people from Eastern Europe, white people from Eastern Europe and Irish, a lot of Irish started to come in,
and
right?
Italians.
And Italians, mass immigration, what we would call mass immigration. And so you had a lot of people upset. So a lot of those lower echelon jobs that Black people would have not because we just like low wage jobs, but because that's the only jobs that we could get. So then you started having this fight between Black people and Irish people, Black people and Italian people, right? They become normalized because they're the preferred minority. They look like they're European. We are not European. I'm light as I don't know what, but I ain't never gonna look European. You see what I'm saying? So then you come to about the 30s and the 40s and stuff like that, where again you see after the Harlem Renaissance, you see Black people starting to get something. You see Black people who are saying, even though all the odds are against me, Jim Crow is nationwide, we are still building different things with the Madam C.J. Walker. We started to build our Black Wall Streets and stuff like that. What happened? You ended up with another mass immigration. Then you come to the 60s, where you have the civil rights stuff going on, and you could no longer hide lynchings, right? Black people were nurses. You had a lot of Black women. That my grandmother was a nurse. She was a surgical technician and a nurse at this hospital. The Cabrini sisters ran the hospitals to St. Joseph, right? So what happens then? We start allowing Filipinos to come in, and they all become nurses,
Asians,
right? Right. But again, these are people that have a softer look to them. We have a specific hair grade. We got a specific tone of skin. We look a certain way. We look like we came from Africa. It doesn't matter that we've been over here for 400 years. We look a specific way. And you're talking about a Western European society that is filled with eugenics is like all in the culture here. If you know what if you don't know what eugenics is, go look it up, right? And so Planned Parenthood is a eugenics minded organization. The Centers for Disease Control, eugenics minded. The National Institutes of Health, eugenics minded. That's why the vaccines kill you and it don't kill them. Have you noticed that? That's why our hearts explode, all this other stuff. I'm not anti-vax, I promise, but I'm just saying. So in 1965, they had a immigration bill that ushered in a totally different type of immigration system. Then again, you've never seen where Africans and Haitians are incorporated into mass amnesty or anything like that. They shooting Haitian boats out the water. If you African, you could barely get here, right? And so in the 80s, they did amnesty around the time when they were doing mass incarceration for Black people. They were doing amnesty for Caucasians who are Hispanic. Hispanics are Caucasian. If you look at the census, if you look at what they fill out, we all know we check the box that say Black or African American, non-Hispanic. I'm just saying that's what you're supposed to check, right?
That's not what I
and
check.
They check Caucasian, Hispanic. And so all of this is together. You can't get rid of the drug cartel, the so-called legal drug cartel, because white people are engaging in this. So the kids I went to school with, I graduated high school in 2004. All them kids were smoking weed. Every last one of them people. I'm not gonna say what high school I went to.
Come to our neighborhoods to get it.
Exactly.
Right.
And so now we're adults. We vote.
Right.
They advocate. So it's not. As much as we want to think that this was about, we did a harm to you, Tyrone. They don't care about you.
Absolutely.
They don't care about your kids. I'm your kid's age. They don't care about if I got caught with a joint. You know what I'm saying? My mother was a Cook County sheriff, so I knew better. This is all about their group of people, which is 70-80% of society, are using this product. They want to make money off of it, and they want to make sure that their children are not the ones that end up like you did. And that's the play. So you're never going to get a Black politician that calls in and tells you, they ain't calling 708 nothing, because they're not going to tell you the truth about what they're trying to do. They are, if you ever watch that Malcolm X movie, before they start shooting up the place, what that man say, get your hand out my pocket.
This
right?
Distraction. Yeah.
Right. And so our voice is a hand in their pocket. Because somebody's giving them money to do the stuff that they're doing, to pass the legislation that they're passing. And it doesn't have anything to do with us. And unfortunately, it has everything to do with people who don't look like us, who don't come from the same continent as us. This is all a part of a eugenic minded society, and we're on the wrong side of that eugenic system. Now, nobody's ever going to say that, and they're going to tell you we're colorblind, Jesus, all this other stuff, but nobody's colorblind. It's just a lie. It's not.
You said they were going to say we colorblind Jesus. Nah, Jesus white, ain't it? I saw it. You crazy?
Who told you that?
I saw it.
It's too much sun.
I see it, and I saw it.
It's too much.
They're not colorblind,
Yeah,
right?
no,
So they
not.
never colorblind.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm saying that to say that we're never colorblind.
Right.
I don't care what a person.
Right.
I don't see color. They're
Right.
lying.
Right.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, at the heart of it, that is the system. That's why there should be a type
color
of
Cinderella.
That's why there's supposed to be.
What color Santa Claus?
There
Depends on the
should be,
color of
and
the
he
stepmother,
actually
ain't it?
Santa Claus, and the real Saint Nicholas was not white.
It was
We
not.
That's
know
the
it.
crazy
But
thing.
I
But this
think
ain't the color. We live in
But there should be
colorblind society.
if they were for real, there would be real reparations after we're saying that we made this a felony to have marijuana, and actually is safe for you to do whatever. You could eat it, you could smoke it, you could drink it, you could do whatever you want to do with it. Now all of a sudden, and there's still people sitting behind bars because of it.
there
There's
are people still in jail.
That's
yeah.
my
who
thing
are
right
being
there.
tracked and traced
That is
because
my
of it.
thing.
Yes.
There's still people who have not been pardoned. There shouldn't be whatever expungement. It should be a
Blanket.
mass
There should not
Blanket.
be one single
and then for
person.
every day that
Yep.
they were in there, the prevailing wage from where
Yep.
they are from should have been paid for those people because they don't have Social Security, they don't have a
Yes.
pension, they can't
know.
get Medicare and Medicaid. They have not been able to pay into the system because they were prevented from working.
And-
same as the sharecroppers,
Yep.
right? Back in the day, same as the domestic housework. Remember, they used to say we like cleaning their houses and stuff and watching their kids, but that was a ploy so that we couldn't pay into the Social Security system and
Mhm.
get what is owed to us at the end of it. All of that should be paid, and biblically, that's called reparations. I'm not saying cut a check, but I am saying cut a check.
Cut some.
Cut something. And so
Cut it out.
and so this is why, people, it is so important to pay attention to the landscape of what is being pushed down our throats. And let me tell y'all something. People love to get in front of Black people and say to us, well, you should understand. You should have a heart. Why y'all going so hard? It's because of what we've been through. It's because of our plight. And let me tell you something. You're asking me to be sympathetic to a system that darn sure has not been sympathetic to me and mine. So I empathize, and I may be able to even muster up a little sympathy. But will I step aside and allow my people to be stepped on and to be marginalized, to be taken advantage of, to be used by Black elected officials who want to stand in front of us and pretend to care, pretend to have our best interests at heart? When I look at not what you say to me, but what you have shown me. And so I say to this, and here's another caveat to this. We've spent how many weeks talking about this election since it's been over?
Man,
And you would think
they would change their tune, right?
that the DNC
Yeah.
would sit back and say, darn,
Man,
y'all
we
know
blew
what?
it. We really blew
We
it.
might have, we may need to, because at the end of the day, we still, and even though we voted Republican on this panel, and the votes of the Republican Party did increase in this last election, but the number of voters who thought so little
Mm-hmm.
of the Democratic Party that they stayed home. I'm not even going to show up to vote for this mess. And you all ain't did an about face, but don't worry about it. Because, see, that's what this platform is for. This platform is for us to push the transformation. This platform is for us to say to not just Black Chicago, not just Black Illinois, but Black Americans, get your stuff together. Start taking care of your own.
And Black politicians, if you don't get it together, we're going to get you together. See, Pritzker money has prostituted our elected officials.
Oh, yes.
And they're so afraid that in a situation where I got to commend them, Welch took a stand on his, it wasn't enough votes for me to pass this through, Governor. While you're trying to ban businesses without even looking into, J.B. Pritzker wanted Chris Welch and the House to pass a bill sponsored by State Senator Kimberly Lightford, to destroy our businesses, to destroy our farms, while also locking us out of the cannabis industry altogether, but to then take the bill from lobbyists and lawyers that was given to Lyford to violate our communities. Listen to what I'm telling you. Your governor, the one who walked around on the apology tour because he said too many N-words, or because he saw black men as ends, now see the Chris Welch and all these black House members as ends for not passing his bill, even though the votes wasn't there. At some point, I expect Secretary of the leader of the House, Welch, to take a stand and say, hey, I'm not violating my community, my constituency, if there's no votes to do that. And then the bill that was put forth is premature, it lacks real insight, and it doesn't take into account all of the lies and all of the aspects, nor does it bring black people in business at the table to say, nah, this is not good for our company. This is not good for our business. And no, this is a lie. This is not true. This is the cannabis company lying. When most of the dispensaries are full of molded weed. And we go, y'all running these dispensaries to buy all this weed, and the weed is molded. Probably why you coughing so much. You think it's just fine weed. Maybe your lungs is collapsing from the mold you smoking. See, and they know this. Yet, they don't want to talk about the reality of the harm and damage coming from cannabis dispensaries versus what they say a kid got some candy and some gummies. Then that onus is on his mother. For not, it's like a gun. It's like a kid blowing their head off with a gun or drinking alcohol from the bar. You don't regulate that. You don't put a bill in for that because they get so much money off the taxes.
So much money off the taxes.
They can't regulate and control him. So they do use our black elected officials to shut it down. Here's a white billionaire.
But Tyrone, they've always used us
against
us. I
mean,
that's not a new technique. That's not a new position that our elected have taken. You know, they've always come to us. And again, we talked about the war on drugs.
Yeah.
When you talk about the war on drugs and who pushed it, who came into our communities, wasn't the white folks coming.
It was pastors. Grandmamas.
It was
aunties.
It was congressmen.
Boule. What is it? Fraternity, sororities.
Fraternities, sororities.
Masons.
These are the people who came into our communities to sell it to us. So oftentimes, when these things are happening, it is not someone else. If you look at our schools, and let me just say, how you choose to live your life is how you choose to live your life. I'm not knocking anybody. But even with the LGBTQ plus agenda,
we pushed that more than they did.
Who's pushing that among our kids? Who's pushing it in our communities, in our churches, in our schools? They're coming to us to have that legislation pushed. When you talk about this immigration and this illegal migrants and this migrant crisis and the migrant situation, look at some of the people who are out in front leading the charge.
Yeah.
When you hear people talking about it, think about when this first started here in the city of Chicago. Think about the faces that they put in front. You saw Reverend Alderman Hall.
Yeah.
You saw Alderman Yancey. You saw all of these faces that look like us telling us It's enough for
I
it's
talked
enough
to
for
I
wait a
talked to
minute.
Yancey
Wait a minute.
downstate.
Look.
Now
It's enough for y'all. Ain't that what Reverend Hall said? It's enough for
oh
y'all.
man, it's enough for
It
us.
ain't it ain't
But
it
when
ain't
we
never
see
been
it,
enough for
but
us.
no, if it's enough for us, when
Let
do
wait a
we
minute.
gonna see
Wait a
it?
minute. Let them get theirs first. We gonna come back to
Back
y'all.
to
Wait a
you.
minute. We promise.
But now that is no money in the budget, how do we get ours?
So
Go ahead.
and that's the thing is that we should never think that there's money in you are the budget.
You are
You
the
are the
budget.
You are
budget.
if you're incarcerated, you with the budget. If you're not incarcerated and you work, you're the budget. If you're a kid
Yep.
in CPS, you're the budget. Your head has a monetary amount on it,
Exactly.
right? Because that's why you get a social security number. That's why you get a incarceration number. That's why you get a school number when you go to school, community
Army.
college,
Yeah.
you know, you're a number and a monetary amount. And so I think what we have to get into our heads, and I'm talking specifically and only to freedmen, to black people who can trace their lineage to slavery in this country. I'm not talking to nobody else right now. We have to get into our head that we don't have anywhere else to go. This is the only country that we have,
This
and it
it.
belongs to us. You don't hold a passport nowhere else. Even
Nope.
if you do, that's not really your country because they'll revoke that passport as quickly as they gave it to you.
Or you come
You
up
can't
missing.
go to Mexico illegally because they'll make you serve 10 years in a disgusting prison, unlike any prison we've ever had in the United States. And then they'll send you back and you'll never be able to go back there again, right? But yet, we always got so much compassion. You know, we stand up for LGBTQ, we stand up for the Hispanics, we stand up for the Indians, we stand up for all these different people.
Asian.
And meanwhile, when you drive through the south side of Chicago and the west side of Chicago, it does not look like the north side of Chicago. It don't look like where Indians from India live.
It don't look
It
like
don't look
Pilsen.
like
It doesn't look like anywhere
Pilsen.
else.
It looks like Beirut. It looks like
Yeah.
it looks like some village that was bombed out in Afghanistan. It looks like the capital of Iraq.
So
while we
who
were
are
in the-
over those wards?
well, it's all our black politicians. It's all our black politicians. But the other thing is, it don't take much to get us to vote for any of these people, whether they black, white, Hispanic. Black people like J.B. Pritzker. Otherwise, he wouldn't still be in office. Black
Hey.
people like, look at how we did not. Yes, there were some strides made, but overwhelmingly, black people still voted for Joe Biden.
Sure
Yeah,
did.
they did.
They did. And so
Sure
there's a
did.
problem when you can go to all our HBCUs, when you can still go into our churches with these butterscotch chewing, falling asleep old pastors, and they're still
Man, don't say nothing about my butterscotch.
I like it, but you know
Don't
what I'm
put
saying.
that
That's
just
what they
put some denture falling.
Look,
Say
I'm old
denture.
and I don't eat butterscotch.
Say
You know-
denture. Word to
You know,
worders,
they
man.
still
Grandma
eat-
been giving
they
me
still
worders,
eat-
Wait,
man.
I guess you
Man.
eat that coconut candy too with the
Yeah,
stripes.
yes.
Do
I
you
like
really?
that.
and that's all it takes to get us to vote.
Just give us some words.
Don't forget the
Just
turkey.
get right. A
Don't
expired
forget the
turkey,
turkey.
a rotten ham.
So, can you just say the pastor with them bogus dentures?
Okay.
too.
I can say that.
Get up off
I
my
can-
butterscotch.
okay. And that's
Right,
what the
Earl.
issue is that we have not in our minds, we have not realized that we are Americans and this is our country, and that's just it. And I call on all of us to rise up the same way Hispanics do, the same way white people do, the same way Vivek Ramaswamy do, and his family. They just got off the plane, whatever, and yet that man stands proud. I am
Man.
an American.
So,
And
for
we
real.
be, I don't know if I should, I don't know what they just did it. They did it. They took it from me. Who is they?
He looking
You
just
voted
like
for
him
them. They gave
today.
you the bouncy house
They
at the thing.
did.
I don't know what happened.
But you know what? Let me speak on this too. And I don't know if you guys have had a chance to look at your census paperwork yet.
Hold on, let me tell the people why we got a few minutes. Anybody
okay.
want to be a part of the conversation that's tuned in, Facebook Live or IntellectualRadio.com, call in at 708-223-8953. That's 708-223-8953. We got about 30, 40 more minutes left, and we would like to hear from you. Go ahead, Carla.
Y'all want to upset the apple cart black people?
The who?
The apple cart.
The apple cart?
Y'all want to upset the apple cart black people? When you get ready to fill out that census form, I'ma challenge you. You know how on the form where it breaks down every single nationality except ours.
Mm.
It says black or African American. And then when you go to like read down and break, no. So let me tell you. So the other, if you're non-Hispanic, you get to go in and write down whatever your other is. Yeah. But with us, you don't. Did y'all notice that?
No.
And so it lists, and if you look at it, when if you want to break down of what black or African and what falls under the African American, African, Nigerian, Haitian. So let me tell you why I wanted to bring that up. Monies that are dispersed to different communities are dispersed based on your numbers. Everybody is getting pure numbers except for black people because everybody is roped in with us. Mm-hmm. Y'all want to upset the apple cart black people where it says race. And I'm even offended by the fact that it says race because we all are the human race. It's only one race. And so why people are still separating that is beyond me. But I digress. Every black person who fills out the census should be checking other and writing black.
Well, I this is what I do. I've done this. I've checked other and wrote American African. See, we are not African.
And I'm going to go with that.
Now, this one I'm going to show you something. When you start talking about Asian American, they came to America. They put their nationality first. Mm-hmm. Asian America, Jewish Americans. We was born in America.
Black American.
We are American and we Africans. So I don't never say African American. I've for one never been to Africa. Mm-hmm. Well, I have. No.
And it's not a country,
I don't
it's a
know,
continent,
right?
You
don't know where you came from over there.
Haitians don't put that they African.
They don't say that.
And they are
because they had in Haiti.
They from Haiti.
They from Haiti.
See, when we do that, and I really think that now we're not saying to forget your nationality or origin. Most people who call themselves African never check the genealogical chart to even try to pinpoint. Like, well, so when I look at my genealogical chart based on ancestry stuff, it's mostly Nigerian and a little Canadian. Like, and then you go to Scottish or something. It was Scottish. I guess that's the slave master, blood right there. But I'm just showing you not many people trace like something. So even if I wanted to say, you know what, I'm going to just go say I'm Nigerian American Nigerian. See, it's just that even when she telling us, like, I'm just saying I'm black. And then you got the Moore Shines brothers ain't going to tell you that. I'll say I ain't black.
Right.
So we have no real, and they ain't Moorish. They don't know where they came from.
No.
Everybody ain't Moorish American. It's only a few people with Spain fighting the Spanish conquistadors that did and all that. How you know it was you?
Right.
So all of them playing games too.
Yeah.
They want to talk to you about saying black, but they ain't more.
Yeah.
You got 5 Moorish American brothers in the whole state, and they can't even come together and form one masjid. They can't. They can't, and they want you to. Just think about it. Think about it. They want you to believe that you not black.
Yep.
But the 10 of them can't come together and form a group. And they all call themselves Moors.
Yeah.
So don't be discouraged by these names because nobody know who they are.
Why does everybody get an actual nationality, right? That they can trace to a government that they own. Right. They own that government, right? Yeah. Yes. Like Haitians own Haiti, right? The English, right? English own England, right?
Do you Scottish. Can you really say you're a part of anything if you ain't shed no blood to fight for nothing?
So where's the black country? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what the problem is, and that's why I say we don't really believe that we
We
are
don't
the
believe-
last
yeah,
group of people
Yeah.
that for real own the
Yeah.
United States of America from its foundation.
That's right.
We are the people from the Mayflower. They mixed in with the Irish. They gone. That
So
pool is
really,
diluted.
we should just be saying we're American.
That's it. We are.
And
that's it.
stop all
That's
that other stuff because we didn't ask to be
Yes,
here.
Yes.
No.
Because
We
even
the one people that didn't come.
Nope.
We was on the Nina, the Pizza, and the Santa
We was
Maria,
on all
and,
of them.
and some more, and some bingas or something. We was here, and some of us was already here in America.
Yes.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's still a doggone devil that described it as America.
Right.
The name even America ain't real.
And that's not the name of our country. The name of our country is actually the United States.
But
People
we're
don't
not-
even. I know I'm going.
First
way
of all,
too
here we
far.
go again.
I'm
I'm
way
finna
too
tell
far.
y'all.
That's
I'm
not-
finna tell
it's
y'all.
the
but
United
not that-
States of America.
No, listen, let me say
Get out
this.
the clouds,
Let me say
David.
this.
You know
Let me
that.
say this. Let me say this. Let me say this. If hemp is federally legal and each state say hemp is illegal and it's the federal government said it's legal, then it's not united.
No.
No states is united. In fact, Texas want to get the hell away from the United. Listen, man, look at what they got us in. Ain't no such thing as United States because Indiana does something different than Wisconsin.
Yes.
And Illinois showing the hell does
Does
something
something
different
different
than Missouri
All of
and Michigan. Bro, this is the biggest joke in the world as black people. We can't even say to collectively. Let's take from 59th and Morgan all the way to 63rd and Morgan and rehab that whole block, buy all the properties. Okay, we own that. Then let's go 5 more blocks down and let's come together collectively and buy that. And we can't come together to buy a grocery store.
When
You
you
know
when you
what?
take out a let me say this, when you take out a business loan, if you have 5 people with decent credit, you got a better chance of getting more money, right?
That's
This
right.
is what you're talking
Yeah.
about,
That's
right?
right.
So hey, maybe we a lot of us got bad credit, but enough of us got good credit enough to but then the problem is we're not gonna shop at the store that's owned by us.
I know because we have a whole 75% of our customer base is white. Then I'm gonna say it again in case you ain't hear me. We want to denounce white folks and say white folks is this and white folks is that. But 75% of my customer base is white folks. But then you got black folks going to their stores and will bypass the
In
stuff
Chicago Ridge.
of Chicago Ridge. Hey, man, we are blind, deaf, and dumb.
Something is really wrong with us.
No,
When it
they did it to us.
I mean, but I understand that.
They
But
did
but
a
but, but,
number.
but when you talk about that, when you talk about the fact that we won't even do the research and
Like right now, I implore all y'all listening to go to IntellectualRadio.com and subscribe and share. Everybody listen at the same time.
everybody right now.
Right now.
Subscribe
Intellectual,
and share.
I posted it. IntellectualRadio.com. Subscribe and share the broadcast and share IntellectualRadio.com. Now, when I get off this line and I don't see y'all doing that, I'm gonna block you. See. You just
know
gonna
what?
watch.
Facts.
No.
Facts.
Stop
No.
watching me.
Stop watching me.
If we
Yeah.
ain't gonna figure out how to collectively support one another,
What's the point?
what you watching me for? What you watching Carter for? What
What's
are
the
we
point?
doing?
What's the point?
If you are not edifying yourself intellectually, this is not called shakethebooty.com, radio.com. This ain't called how you hit a joint.com. This is called intellectualradio.com, which stimulates you Negro's brain cells.
And what is it
And
to
you can watch it for
subscribe,
free. IntellectualRadio.com. It costs nothing to subscribe and share.
Nothing.
It costs nothing. It costs It's called 0.99.
Tell them. So you ain't got no excuse. No excuse.
It's just I'm so sick of us, man. You know, we want to talk about, and we down in Springfield fighting our butts off for our life, and our people don't even know the ploy that their government is doing to the regular people, citizens. We employ over 30 people, black women and a few men with children. We got a whole billionaire talking about how he gonna destroy that. Then we got a whole mayor who's at odds with the governor because he want to use the revenue from the hemp to then bolster what they violated in terms of our taxes.
Yep.
And then you got the Speaker of the House, who's a black man. You got a black man in Chicago and a black man in the state capitol, and you got a white billionaire telling you Negroes about to do what I say.
Where are the Republicans on this issue?
None. They don't have a dog in this fight.
Please.
And they was gonna vote. They was gonna probably vote in the way of Pritzker, because they don't even understand, because it's too far. They down in Boondocksville somewhere. They don't really care about the issues that affect us unless we driving out there and rob them in Boondocksville.
Yeah.
And then it becomes an issue where now it's a problem for everybody. And that's why I always say violence anywhere is violence everywhere. You can't not worry about the, and then hey, quit lying, Brandon. Quit lying, Snelling. Quit lying, JB, about the deaths and murder and violence that's happening in the city.
Statistics.
Y'all lying. It is ridiculous, man. Go ahead. It'll piss me off.
Look, I see your face, Tyrone. I was like,
what?
And you know what? When I heard that yesterday,
it's somebody's mother and sister and son is being murdered out here, and they lying about it.
When I heard that yesterday, I was just like, they're lying. They are lying. It's like, how in the world?
Because you haven't increased the revenue.
No.
You haven't haven't increased jobs for black people.
No. As a matter of fact, we got the highest unemployment rate, especially among black men in the country.
Especially
not the city,
young black men.
Not the state, in the country.
So JB Pritzker, you violate my business. I'm time to going back to the streets. And hey, I'm gonna steal your wheels, your hubcaps.
And I bet they're really nice hubcaps.
They're nice. They're nice when he's not hiding behind the police.
But listen, people. I think the fact of the matter is that we are long past the time.
Wow.
Where we cannot afford to be about the business of our people. And that means that we're going to have to do some things differently. You know, if you want to get something different, you can't continue to do the same thing that you've done. And, you know, I hear people say all the time, but I just can't bring myself to vote Republican. Well, you better bring yourself to be able to vote differently than how you're voting, because at the rate we're going, we are pedaling backwards in a speedboat, headed for the hills of Niagara Falls. You do know that there's no coming back from that. Just so you know.
I think at this point, we're so far down the river on a number of things,
right?
That there has to be there has to be like a y'all laughing, but I'm
it's real.
There has to be
ain't no life ride.
Stop. It has to be like very radical of turning the ship around. Part of it's getting off the ship and getting these life rafts all the way back. But our minds we are so government minded and trusting.
We need to get off the ship and punch holes in it.
We do.
And let it go sink to the bottom, and then make us go build another one to get back.
Yeah, that's exactly what needs to be happening.
What bothers me about us is like we do not research. We don't research the stuff we need to be researching. Don't nobody know the state constitution. They don't know the federal constitution. People don't even understand that
They
a
don't even
state
know
is
their
sovereign.
phone number. You talking
That's
about
what I'm
some
saying.
state
So
constitution.
now you got people who, we got kids who can't tell a nickel from a dime from a quarter at this point, let alone know how to pay you to buy weed.
So you was you ever one of them kids? Like, I used to trick my sister. I used to take the big nickel and give me the little dime. Hey, listen, she'll have a handful of big nickels. I mean, a little dimes,
And
I have a handful of big nickels. I said, look, you know what? You my little, you can have these handful of big dimes. Big nickels. Give me them little dimes. That's what they do to us every day.
But I mean that's the reality. I went to Dunkin' Donuts today actually, and I gave the lady a nickel.
A big nickel.
But I gave her a nickel, and she gave me back I whatever the change was supposed to be. It was supposed to be like 3 cent back or something, and she gave me 3 dimes because she thought that really did.
She thought this was?
I don't know what she thought it was, but she gave me 3 dimes back. And
just a big nickel.
I just okay, it's only 3, right? It ain't a lot.
It's a big nickel.
But that's what's happening right now. And white people, to a certain extent, they can afford to be goofy and silly like that. We don't have the disposable capital of not being
right.
And we don't come from a stock of people.
And the kicker is,
we had slaves that was getting their limbs cut off to read the Constitution so that they could go in there and have a Dred Scott case, so that they could go in there and have all of these cases. And now
I think we did this ourselves. We did. Watch us, man. Listen, man.
And we still supporting illegal immigrants.
But look at the crazy stuff we spend our money. And I just thought about something. I was just telling Tracy the other day. I said, can you imagine, Devin, you and I, if we wore white man hair, we paid for that? Can you imagine if men, Earl, can you imagine if black men bought white men hair?
You do know they doing that now.
No, I ain't talking about. I'm serious, Nakata. The money that women spend on other women hair.
It's a multi-billion-dollar industry.
If we as men, if I took this bald head and went and bought a white man wig, I ain't say a curly wig. They not going to buy Angela Davis curly hair. These women is buying silk and straight.
But it's legitimately white people's hair.
It's
like
white.
It's from there or
not
Indian or
right.
whatever. They take that hair from somebody's head, a Brazilian woman or whatever, and they sew it into their head.
And then we spend our money on bleach.
But that's why they minds is, the Bible talks about a crown of glory and stuff.
And
that's why
women, please don't be mad at me. I was just making an observation of how we as black men love y'all for whatever y'all put nails on. You cut your whole God-given eyelash and the eyebrows off, and then you got little sisters that got helicopter wings coming out their eyes. You know what I'm saying? I'm only telling you that we are so messed up with low self-esteem, and we don't love our look to a point where we spend billions a year.
And I don't
fix our.
I don't even
and that's
have
a self-esteem
But you
issue.
know what though? I don't even have a problem with us spending the money. You know what my problem is?
We ain't spending what I said.
We're not spending it what I said.
Cause Nidra and them got a shop. What is it called? Solo Beauty. We got people with. You know what it is? I know what it is. The Asians' hair is silkier than the hair the sister sell. It's like your ice is colder than my ice, and they all freeze at the same temperature.
In real life, I want to say that the hair that they sell at black-owned places might be more synthetic, and the hair that Asians are selling their own people's hair.
No,
they got
that stuff come from the same company.
It's come from the same company.
I think what it is
I see women with Remy. They buy it and sell it like the best hair. I've seen it.
So
Man,
I think
I'm
what
telling you.
Oh,
happens
we just
though,
don't want our people touching it before we get it. Is
I
that what it
just
is?
don't think
it's
we
not-
support each other.
we just don't support each
What?
other. And so here's what happens. I think with the beauty supply business. So you have one on every corner,
Yeah.
just like liquor stores.
Yeah.
And this is what they do. Those other ethnicities with their businesses, they get together
As a
and
bulk.
they buy in bulk.
Bulk. Yeah.
Whether it's the liquor stores,
Nah, really.
they get together and they buy in bulk. Whether it's these beauty supplies, they get together and they buy in bulk. The grocery stores, they get together and they buy in bulk. They get together. Listen to hear me. They get together. You touched on this earlier.
Yeah.
Imagine if we could come together. You
We can't
touched
even
on
get the
this
black
earlier.
Republicans to come together. So
Wait a minute,
let
we
them-
touched on this earlier. If we could just come
Yeah.
together. And so it is going to take
Us to
us
save up.
really laying our pride aside. Like I'm real talk. Hear me. And I know we joke and we have a lot of fun up here, and you'll hear us
We
laughing
serious, we
and
serious.
jocking on each other. Hear me. If we don't come together collectively and come up with our own agenda for ourselves, for our communities, and even for our kids, our schools. And I'm saying to Black parents, even when it comes to coming up with schools for our children and getting our kids up out of
That's Chelsea, stop
CPS,
that.
can you imagine what would happen
Hit that button.
if we took our kids
That's
out?
our last. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome to you on, caller. Go.
My name is Zamunda.
How you doing, Amunda?
Yeah, but she was saying that we have to come together. We can't come together. It's not possible.
Why?
Yeah, because our mind is already fucked up already. So how can we come? We have to train the young kids who are growing up to come together. But we are too old to come together. That's why all these people, they come here, even they hate themselves. All the people that buy in the store in our neighborhood doing all those things, even they hate themselves, but they know how to come together and say, let's buy something from this Black neighborhood because they can come together. Because the way that our mind, the music and all those things, it's too much. Our kids like to hear the negative music and all those things, and they show things how we look so bad on TV. Everything bad is on net. Everything good is on other people. Everything bad is so our mind. We can't come together. It's very, very. I feel sorry about the way that she said we have to come together, but I think she's wasting her time saying those things.
Thank you for calling. We're about to wrap it up.
Thank you so much for calling.
And,
No, but I didn't finish it. Why always you guys want to cut people off?
Cause we got to go. We leave. The show is over.
You know what? Just let him go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I just want you guys to say something for me also to know that maybe I'm wrong.
You are wrong.
You are wrong.
You wrong that we can't come together. It's just that I think when no people collectively come together for nothing. What you have to do is figure out how to find your group.
What is the commonality?
Right. You got to find your group to go in business with or to build with. Because no any people, Nigerians, Ghanaians, Arabs, Sudanese, it doesn't matter. They don't come together. Because if they did come together, they'll run the European governments out of their community, their country. They're not together. That's why you have the different tribes.
I'm trying to say to you that we can. That's what I'm trying to say to you guys. We tried to come together long time ago. We shouldn't come together. We came together. We're coming together. Somebody will come and they will say, and still now we still say we have to come together. When are we gonna come together?
I know your guess is as good as mine.
Your guess is as good as mine, but I do believe that it's gonna happen. And I think that unfortunately it's going to take something catastrophic.
No. If it's gonna happen, the world have to be destroyed and rebuild the world back again before it can happen.
That's still something catastrophic.
That's catastrophic.
Wait a minute, if that's not catastrophic, catastrophic, I don't know what is.
There ain't no world gonna be rebuilt. This is it.
And
If we don't fix the earth,
this is it.
ain't gonna be no more.
We're not getting
earth.
another one.
And it seems like, okay, we're gonna see because
no more earth. This is the only earth you get. And if it explodes in the middle of the universe, it's over with.
We'll have to come together at that point. But I know we gotta go.
You know what I find out that we have a problem with? All the black leaders. I used to think they have power. I find out that
they ain't got no power. Because they have no unity.
I'm gonna say that I actually agree with him that I think America is gonna have to not be a world superpower anymore for black people to get. It's gonna be that's catastrophic.
That's coming,
right?
That's catastrophic.
That's what's gonna happen,
and it's going to happen. And I'm telling you,
like
I
the
think
dollar is gonna plug. The dollar's on its way out of here. Like it's a lot of stuff that's about to happen.
Thank you for calling in, caller.
That's when we will come together because we ain't gonna have no choice. All this, you ain't gonna be able to afford Vivek's mom's hair from India.
That's right.
All you gonna be able to afford is the basic necessities.
Your hair. You're gonna start to realize how beautiful you really are.
Because you ain't got no choice.
We ain't gonna
have no choice.
So it's gonna be figured. It's gonna go back to grandmama kitchen with that straightened comb. With that straightened comb. Man, that's some lazy stuff. That means we done got lazy because I saw them with that green, that
blue magic,
green grease, straightening
that blue magic.
That stuff be so silky. Yeah, they avoided the pool. Didn't even go to the gym. All right, we gotta go, y'all. Thank you thank you all. You know, we say we have fun. It's like you gotta laugh to keep from crying, man, about our condition. And so we are here enjoying ourselves, but we are speaking some real serious stuff. And we hope that you continue to tune in. And if you didn't subscribe and share, you ain't gonna be watching next week because I'm gonna cancel.
We blocking you.
Blocking you. IntellectualRadio.com. This is Tyrone Muhammad. That's Kyler Trust. This is Devin Jones. And this is ExCons4Trump Intellectual Radio. Take a look. Check out this music for a few seconds. Listen to the words that Earl closed us out.
But you are the reason they breathe and the reason they dreams unfold. So we gotta handle this. It's been ridiculous how we let haters get so inconspicuous. Watching my power, burning demons. You wanted a purge, open season. So drunk with illusion, don't see me coming. Meet your demise. I'm a woman. I do not conform to nobody's norms. I'm cleaning us up, sending the storms. High level vibration, increasing the pressure. You feeling my strength? This is my pleasure. You cannot handle this intellect. Hey, hey. You cannot handle this intellect. Hey, hey. You cannot handle this intellect. You cannot handle this intellect. You cannot handle this intellect. Dimensional paradise savage. Woo. Call me the messenger. Hey, hey, hey. Call me the messenger. Hey, hey. You cannot handle this intellect. You cannot handle this intellect.